Please be seated. On behalf of the Department of Defense and Strategic Studies, Savitribai Phule, Pune University, I, Bharati Kokil, welcome you all to the General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture 2024. We begin the memorial lecture with the university song. May I request everyone to stand when the song is being played? Thank you. Please be seated. I now request the head of the Defense of Department and Strategic Studies to deliver the lecture.
Namaste. Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear students. It gives me pleasure to welcome General Upendra Dwivedi, Param Vishist Seva Medal, Ati Vishist Seva Medal, Chief of the Army Staff, who has kindly consented to deliver the General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture 2024 on role and contribution of Indian Army in securing India's growth story. I'd like to also welcome Lieutenant General Dhiraj, Seth, Ati Vishist Seva Medal, Army Commander, Southern Command, Lieutenant General S.P. Singh, Yudh Seva Medal, Chief of Staff, Southern Command, Lieutenant General Sandeep, Thareja, Sena Medal, Vishist Sena Medal, Director and Commandant, Armed Forces Medical College, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Savitribai Phule Pune University, Professor Suresh Gosavi, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Savitribai Phule Pune University, Professor Parag Kalkar, former Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Professor Nitin Kamakar, Officiating Registrar, Professor Jyoti Bhakre, Finance and Account Officer, Charushila Gaike, Director of Board of Examination, Dr. Mahesh Kakade, heads of the department, members of the Management Council, members of the Senate and Academic Council, administrative staff of Savitribai Phule Pune University, officers of the Army, Navy and Air Force, both serving and retired, members of electronic and print media, technical support team, staff from Southern Command, students, and all those who are present in the audience. Let me welcome on behalf of Savitribai Phule Pune University. The Department of Defense and Strategic Studies has been organizing the General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture since 1995 as an annual feature in the memory of late General B.C. Joshi. Since 2005, the Chief of Staff Committee resolved that the memorial lecture will be delivered by one of 3 service chiefs in rotation on an annual basis. The department was founded in 1963 after 62 war with China to understand Indian military history and geopolitics and military geography. I am very happy to inform you that considering the academic credential of the department, the Savitribai Phule Pune University awarded the department the Best Department Award in 2019. Over the past 6 decades, there has been paradigm shift in the department in the field of defense and strategic studies. The department has signed MOU with the Indian Army in the year 1994 and established the first policy chair with the Southern Command. Later on, it renamed Chhatrapati Shivaji Policy Studies. Currently, the chair occupied by Lieutenant General Hasabnis. In the year 2020, department has signed a MOU with Indian Air Force and established the first chair of excellence in the name of Marshal of the Air Force, Arjun Singh, and we have received a 2 crore grant from Indian Air Force, and currently the chair occupied by Air Marshal Pradhan. In the year 2021, the department established the Ministry of Defense Chair of Excellence to carry out Indian military history study, and currently this chair occupied by Professor Seshadrichari. The department has signed a MOU with the Institute of Defense Scientists and Technologists and the National Maritime Foundation, and there are a number of international universities. The department conducts 4 postgraduate programs and 2 undergraduate programs, PhD and research scholars program for above the rank of colonel and brigadier. And I'm very happy to inform you that so far department has received 100+ officers who has completed their research in the department above the rank of colonel and brigadier, and we have submitted a policy paper to the RTRAC and the Minister of Defense. The lectures delivered so far have been compiled and published in the form of book titled General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lectures on India's National Security, compiled and edited by myself and Honorable former Vice Chancellor Professor Nitin Karmakar, which was published by Pentagon Press in Delhi in recognition to General B.C. Joshi contribution to the higher education and furthering university. The General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture is organized as a symbol of recognition to this collaborative efforts with the Southern Command. Today, we have General Upendra Dwivedi as our chief guest for the General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture. Let me, on behalf of the Department of Defense and Strategic Studies, faculty, and the students of Savitribai Phule Pune University, once again welcome the Chief of Army Staff. This is a memorial lecture, and no question and answer are asked. I now invite the Honorable Vice Chancellor to give his introductory remarks and introduce the speaker. Thank you, sir.
Namaskar, good evening to all and welcome to this beautiful campus of Savitribai Phule Pune University for today's General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture. This series was instituted in 1995 in the memory of General B.C. Joshi in recognition of his contribution to higher education and furthering the University Armed Force Interaction Program. Today's function is graced by the august personality, General Upendra Dwivedi, Parama Vishist Seva Medal, Ati Vishist Seva Medal, Chief of Army Staff. He's going to speak on role of contribution of Indian Army in securing India's growth story. In the audience, we are happy to have with us other eminent dignitaries from the Army, Lieutenant General Dhiraj, Seth, Ati Vishist Seva Medal, Army Commander, Southern Command, Lieutenant General SP Singh, Yuva Seva Medal, Chief of Staff, Southern Command, Lieutenant General Sandeep, Thareja, Sena Medal, Vishist Sena Medal, Director and Commandant, Armed Force Medical College. In the audience, we also have officers of Army, Navy, and Air Force staff. My colleagues from SPPU, former Vice Chancellor, Professor Nitin Karmalkar, Pro Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Finance and Account Officer, Director, Board of Examination, Member of Management Council, Senate, Academic Council, Deans, Director, Heads, Faculty, Students, and Member of Print and Electronic Media. SPPU has a legacy of providing quality education for more than 75 years and has always been pioneer in the field of education, training, and research. The university jurisdiction is over the districts of Nasik, Ahilyanagar, and Pune, and has 7.5 lakh students enrolled in 1,200 colleges and institutions. And overseas campus is also providing the same quality education at Doha, Qatar. I would like to mention few achievements of our university. The university has achieved 3rd rank in the state level category of NIRF ranking. SPPU has been ranked at the number 173rd amongst 984 Asian universities by QS ranking recently. SPPU is running unique program with University of Melbourne, Australia, University of Drexel, USA, and has more than 100 MOUs with various national and international academic and industrial organizations. The university has been recipient of a major research funding from DST PARS, UGC, UPE, URUSA, CSIR, DBT, DAE, ICSSR, etc., which has resulted in thousands of publications in very impact factor national and international journals. University works in close connection with the armed force through the campus department. We are running 4 PG program, 2 UG program, 11 diploma program, and PhD program, which are conducted in the Department of Defense and Strategic Studies. The Department of Management Science conducts 1-year diploma in management program for disabled soldiers at QMIT, Pune. This is a social initiative of university and no fees are charged for these courses. The department also enrolls Army officers in 2 years full-time MBA program. Entrepreneurship development program and the social workshop for the soldiers retiring from Army are conducted every month. The university believes in holistic development of students, evident by the facilities provided by the sports. We have Pailwan, Kashabazado Sports Complex, athletic track and shooting range of international standard on campus. We are running yoga and meditation center, state-of-art facility and gym facility on campus. The university, through its academics efforts, contributes towards the nation building, and now on behalf of Savitribai Phule Pune University, I welcome once again to this special General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture 2024, and I take this opportunity and pleasure to introduce the distinguished speaker for today's program. General Upendra Dwivedi assumed command of Indian Army on 30th June 2024. Prior to this, he was Vice Chief of Army Staff. He is a recipient of Parama Vishist Seva Medal, Ati Vishist Seva Medal, and 3 GOC-in-C commendation cards. He hails from Madhya Pradesh and has studied a Sainik School, Rewa, Madhya Pradesh. He joined the prestigious National Defense Academy in January 1981 and was commissioned into the 18th Battalion of Jammu and Kashmir Rifles on 15 December 1984, which he later commanded the Kashmir Valley and the desert of Rajasthan. From his school days, he was an outstanding sports person and excelled in both National Defense Academy and Indian Military Academy, where he was awarded a blue in physical training. He continued to excel post-commissioning and was awarded the gold medal in the physical training course. General Officer has unique distinction of balanced exposure along northern, western, and eastern territories in varied terrain and operational environment, including desert, high altitude, riverine, built-up area, northeast, and Jammu and Kashmir. He commanded his battalion in active counter-terrorist operation in Kashmir Valley and Rajasthan Desert. He has been Inspection General Action Request, General Officer Commanding and Sector Commander, Assam Rifles in intense counter-terrorism operations, and held various other staffs and command appointments in the Northern East, where he pioneered the first ever compendium on Indo-Myanmar border management. Subsequently, he commanded Rising Stars Corps along Western Front and prestigious North Army from 2020 to 2024 in extremely challenging operational environment. During his command, he provided strategic guidance and operational oversight of planning and execution of stunning operations along the northern and western borders, beside orchestrating the dynamic counter-terrorism operation in Jammu and Kashmir. He was also involved in modernizing the and equipping the largest command of the Indian Army, where steered the induction of indigenous equipments as a part of Atmanirbhar Bharat. He synergized the people of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh for convergent national building outcome of infrastructure and development. He has varied staff exposure, which includes handling conventional operation of armored breach in Punjab plains, providing logistical support to a mountain division of Northeast along the northern border, and operation of strike corps in desert. An integrated headquarters army, he contributed significantly in military secretary branch and was instrumental in raising the section of Military Operation Directorate. Later, as a Director General Infantry, he steered the fast-track capital procurement cases of weapons for all three services, leading to significant and visible capability enhancement for our armed force. As a Deputy Chief, he gave impetus towards autonomous and absorption of niche tech in the Indian Army. Being a tech enthusiast, he worked towards enhancing the tech threshold of the rank in Northern Command and push for critical and emerging tech like big data analysis, artificial intelligence, quantum and blockchain-based solutions. The officers to overseas tenure include Somalia, and as a part of headquarters of United Nations operation in Somalia, second, and Seychelles as a military advisor of the government of Seychelles. Besides attending Staff College Wellington and Higher Command course at Army War College, Mahu, the officer was conferred Distinguished Fellow and in the Caveats National Defense College equivalent course as U.S. Army War College, Calzais, USA. Complementing his illustrious military career are an MPhil in Defense and Management Studies, in addition to the 2 master's degree in Strategic Studies and Military Science, including one from U.S. Army War College, Carlisle, USA. He has authored and presented articles in various professional and professional journals. He is married to Mrs. Sunita Dwivedi, a science graduate who is a homemaker. Mrs. Sunita Dwivedi has been associated with Arushi, an institute for special ability children at Bhopal. The couple has blessed with 2 daughters who are working with NGOs. General Officer is skilled yoga practitioner. On behalf of Savitribai Phule Pune University, I welcome you, sir, for this prestigious lecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now request General Upendra Dwivedi, Param Vishist Seva Medal, Ati Vishist Seva Medal, Chief of the Army Staff, to deliver the General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture 2024.
So since we are talking about the growth story, so let me see the bar of the growth of India. How's the Josh? How's the Josh? Thank you. I should have called for 3rd time, but your bar has already crossed the limit. The 2nd time itself. Okay. So, Professor Suresh Gosavi, Vice Chancellor. Professor Parag Kalkar, Pro Vice Chancellor. Professor Vijay Khare, Head of Department, Defense and Strategic Studies, Lieutenant Dhiraj Seth, GOC-in-C Southern Command, and of course, Professor Dr. Jyoti Khare, Officiating Registrar, esteemed veterans and serving officers, faculty, students, Savitribai, Phule, Pune University, and all friends who are connected with us virtually as of today, colleagues from media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and Jai Hind to everyone. It's indeed a privilege to speak at this esteemed institution, which honors and upholds the values of Savitribai Phule ji, who devoted her life to promoting women's rights and empowerment. Her noble pursuits truly embodied the ideals of present-day Nari Shakti initiatives. It's also an honor to deliver the annual memorial lecture to tribute General B.C. Joshi, who was an epitome of professional soldiering and military leadership. I remember it was in 1992 when he was the Western Army commander and it visited IMA. I was the instructor there. Some inspiration I have drawn from him from that point of view, because in spite of being a Western Army commander, he was fully prepared to take over the army, and his focus on, or if I can say that views on all the issues are very focused. And that inspired me to announce decade of transformation for the Indian Army within 7 days of my taking over. Once he was asked whether he has any role models, and he says, I would rather make my own model. It's better to play the game from within oneself. Now, if you see it, second to the Gandhian approach of my life is my message. And that is how we are now trying to propagate in the Indian Army, that your life should itself become a message for everyone and for your followers. As you're also aware, he was well known for the expansion of Rashtriya Rifles as a CICT force for J&K and Northeast. Besides institutionalizing cross-attachment within infantry and armored to foster jointmanship and interoperability. And of course, establishing a number of institutions under the aegis of Army Welfare Education Society. He was instrumental in raising the Army Institute of Technology, AIT in 94, as you are aware, in Pune. So today, I shall put forth my thoughts on the subject of role and contribution of Indian Army in securing India's growth story. So let me explain one thing very clearly, that as we see on the western side of India, the economy plays a very pivotal role. But as we come to India and goes towards the eastern side, it is the socio-cultural values also play a important role. That's why you have seen that we are looking at Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, means everybody has to be taken together so that the Gini coefficient, what we say, it should be narrowed down. So there's a school of thought that feels that security is always at the cost of growth. So today I shall lay down card before you that security is not an obstacle, but rather a vital enabler of sustainable growth and development. Mr. K. Subramaniam, a visionary and great thinker, made an irrefutable argument that the debate is not a versus proposition, but an and prerequisite. That means everybody has a scope to join hands together and take this nation to the path of glory and growth. He underscored the connect between security and growth as national security does not mean merely safeguarding India's territorial integrity. It means also ensuring that the country is industrialized rapidly, has a cohesive, egalitarian and technological society. Anything which comes in the way of this development internally or externally is a threat to India's national security. This is how, if you see the national security strategy and measures all instruments of national power towards the national security. And that is why military is only a part of it, but we play a major role. So firstly, when we talk about Prosperous Nation 2047, I think two prefixes are very important, progressive and peaceful. And moment you add this, the net security provider happens to be the Indian Army. We are seeking avenues to bring together capacities to support and augment lines of effort of the nation towards the goal of Viksit Bharat 2047. As far as Indian Army is concerned, it is normally known for three things: ensuring the territorial integrity or sovereignty of the borders. Second thing is internal security. That is CICT ops most of the time. And then the third thing is humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. So I shall not cover these three aspects and look at what else Indian Army is doing or is capable of doing. So coming on as far as the IS duties is concerned, past and present is known to us. With emerging IS situation, in J&K and Northeast. In J&K, we have been able to transform theme of terrorism to tourism. Now, as we dig deeper into our past, amalgamation of approximately 600 plus princely states, military played a pivotal role for their integration and amalgamation, including Hyderabad and Goa. As far as humanitarian assistance and disaster relief is concerned, one of the GOC-in-Cs of Southern Command, he conceptualized NDMA, that is the Disaster Management Authority. This was General N.C. Vijay, who had first-hand experience of Bhuj earthquake in year 2001. He was the Southern Army commander. He camped there for months together for resuscitation of the township. And now, based on that feedback, we were looking for that what all we could do. And recently, as you're aware, we had seen Wayanad, and our troops also went to Turkey. So now Indian Army has gone in for 17 HADR bricks. It is a unilateral decision taken by the Indian Army for emergency reaction pan-India, as by virtue of a wider presence and reach, de facto, we become the first responder along with the NDRF and Indian Air Force. Along the borders, if you see the 100 kilometers from the borders, since we are present both the sides, northern front and western front, we become the natural first responders by virtue of we being present in those critical areas. Now, during COVID pandemic also, military COVID warriors, some of them are sitting here, including MNSIC. They opened new hospitals besides opening up all military hospitals for local population with enhanced capacity. So now this is as far as the three issues or the three tasking which was given. I have summarized in 4-5 lines. Now coming on to the broader issue, that what else can we do? So let's look at border area. Maharashtra, as you're aware, that maximum tourists along the border areas who have been deployed there, you'll find that Maharashtra tourists are everywhere. Even Karu, where the 3D is located, Maharashtra government has given money for creation of a war memorial. They've also offered the money for rejuvenation of the Kargil war memorial. So what I'm saying, this state as such is connected in a big way as the borders are concerned. So transformative potential of tourism is immense, and recently in the border, we have seen exponential rise. So what we have done, we have identified 48 areas which have been identified along the borders for promoting tourism. And we recently had the seminar where we had the Raksha Mantri ji, Tourism Minister, and Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister. We all came together. This is the first time ever in the history of India, and we decided, let's discuss together and see how to promote the border tourism. So we have made a plan, which is for next 5 years. We have committed to promote adventure activities and provide support to organizers and tourist operators to enhance the footfall in border areas. Upskilling locals in mountaineering and associated activities is part of it. And this is majorly being done in Nepal in any case. Sherpas are being trained by the military. And of course, we have just made a beginning. So major projects undertaken include Trans-Himalayan Trek, which we are sponsoring, Soul of Steel Trek in Uttarakhand, that is mountain skilled survival challenge, opening of trek to Siachen Glacier for all citizens. And of course, we are gradually opening up the battlefields, including Kargil and Galwan, for tourists to get first-hand experience of such battlefield and empathize with the soldiers who laid out their life for the sake of this country. Army Adventure Wing provides one-window security clearance and coordination for such adventure initiatives. And in last few years, 42 trips is something which we have already endorsed. The second issue what we are looking at is the infrastructure development. As you are aware, that we are omnipresent along all the borders. That is the bedrock of sustainable growth along the borders in any case as the infrastructure development is concerned. It spans across all domains, that is roads, bridges, power, telecom, agriculture, water supply, health, sports and education. The dual-use infrastructure is the host state's flavor as of today for according high priority for construction or development because they get the votes also and they get the facilities also. So surface transport and road infrastructure for meeting operational and sustenance requirements of Indian Army has ensured outreach and connectivity to citizens who inhabit far-flung areas. Committee of Secretary which is monitoring this, our Director General Military Operations is part of it, and that is how he is able to put in the flavor of the strategic requirement. Now with the launch of PM Gati Shakti and enunciation of National Logistic Policy, Indian Army has aligned and synergized its infra requirements with national logistic requirements. We have also created a defense portal which is over and above the PM Gati Shakti portal, which has created 300 infrastructure projects have been identified for dual purpose, and it is also being put into the PM Gati Shakti. As far as construction of strategic road, bridges and airstrips is concerned, last 5 years, 4,400 kilometers of roads and 19 kilometers of bridges have been constructed. And in next 5 years, we're looking at 13,000 kilometers of roads. And key roads include alternate connectivity to Leh, inter-valley connectivity in Arunachal, that will be called as frontier highway. So if you see all along the borders, we are playing a pivotal role. I must also say the borders are also smart. When you say smart, it means the 4G connectivity. Indian Army has used its presence to facilitate communication to remote habitations by permitting civil telecom services. And these civil telecom service providers have been allowed to use the army towers so that they can provide the civil communication, because it's only launching of that, mounting of that machine or the equipment which is required. 4G connectivity to 355 army posts have been given. And as a result, all those who are surrounding that area, those remote villages have also gained. As far as the power supply is concerned, we have been able to pull up this power supply with the help of the power minister to all the forward areas through the military assistance. And alternate power supply in Himalayas in form of green hydrogen plant and solar powered plants are also implemented. Solar power plants have been presented by our last president, and the present president is presenting us with the sewage treatment plant in Glacier. Now coming on to this economic development and employment generation, if you only talk about borders, as far as the economic development as a whole for the nation is concerned, I'll talk about it later. Indian Army is supported for long with Ops Sadbhavna, which now has been permitted for northern borders too. From last year, for northern borders also, we can pitch in this money, and with the outlay of 150 crores. Now this is not enough, it's too lesser money. So here I'll quote our Prime Minister on 1st of April 2023, when we talk about the Vibrant Village program for identified 600 villages. He spoke to all the commander-in-chiefs and he said, what I'm looking from the army is basically to provide the soul to these villages. He says, money I can provide, the civil administration can take call for everything, but the soul has to be provided by the army. Now what does it mean? It means cultural revival. The trust among the local population that the whole of India is supporting them. They are not the last village, but they are the first village. The reverse migration which must take place, the tourism must come up, and they should feel important wherever they are staying. And I assure you that we have gone in a big way in ensuring that. Now I must also cover socio-cultural and historical, because socio-cultural integration, military plays an important role. I'll just give you an example. This I have drawn from the analogy given by Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi. When the body bags go in a Western or developed country, what happens? There's a hue and cry. But what happened in Kargil? They always got a place of respect, and you found the whole village, township, the city, everybody congregated together to acknowledge that bravery, the saga of bravery. That is the difference, because our socio-cultural values are very strong, and Indian Army plays a very important role in that. And I think this is aptly also given out if you see the journeys of the movie, that is Hakikat, Dharmendra, Balraj Sahni, Priya Rajvansh of 62 war, to Udi, Vicky Kaushal, Yami Gautam, with of course How's the Josh you have already answered, and in between you had Border, Sandeshe Aate Hain, and you also had something called as Ye Dil Mange More in the LOC. So if you see, all these dialogues generally tell you that India, the Indian Army plays a pivotal role as a melting pot. We are an apolitical and irreligious army, drawing its human capital from all districts of the nation. Despite that, Hindi serves as a binding language. You find a Tambi also speaking that Hindi, and the Northeastern also is speaking Hindi, and Punjabi also speaking Hindi. Of course, the flavor may be different, but it is overall called as Hindi only. Siachen Baba, all those who have been to the base, this is one of the examples where all religion gods are under one roof. And when you go there, you pay obeisance to all the religious gods. Being a casteless army enhances the camaraderie and diminishes the fault lines. One payoff this was recently seen in Manipur, where the veterans from the warring communities took on the mantle to allay the fears and restore trust among the two ethnic factions. Today, both community members, that is Kukis and Maitis in Indian Army as well as Assam Rifles, are operating in complete harmony in the same unit. We are also training the police personnel in these areas to instill their values that their duty is more important vis-a-vis their identity. Other socio-economic initiatives include promotion of education projects, traditional sports, and identification of hidden talent in remote villages, including sports and provision of medical facilities in remote areas. If you see Manipur polo, if you see ice hockey in Ladakh, all these places you'll find that such places we are playing a pivotal role in encouraging the local sports. Har Ghar Tiranga, this is the campaign which Indian Army has taken to each and every household in Pan-India. Now, as far as large number of forts and historical buildings are concerned, you'll find if these are not sustained, our history tends to get lost after some time. Fort Williams, Red Fort in past, Alwar Palace, Zorawar Fort in Leh, all are being sustained by the military. Most historical buildings are declared as heritage by ASI, Archaeological Survey of India, are held by Indian Army. The only thing is you can't make any modification, so you have to live in that, but that itself is a proud moment for all of us. Now together we are also working towards connecting to the roots. In border areas, so many museums are coming up. In Gurez sector of Jammu and Kashmir, which is connected to Gilgit-Baltistan on the other side, we have created a museum for Shina culture. That is pre-present religion, whatever is there. We are going back to those kind of a tribal roots which we have, which transcends across border to Gilgit and Baltistan. We are reviving their musics, their songs, everything we are trying to revive. Similarly, the Calming Cultural and Heritage Museum in Arunachal Pradesh, recently been inaugurated by our Chief Minister there, has been developed with the voluntary donation of ancestral land and 343 artifacts of the local community in conjunction with military. We have also seen that all war memorials in military museum have been made tourist friendly, and we are trying to put them in the tourist destination. And we are also creating the facilities which are tourist friendly. Rezangla, Kargil, and so on, so forth, Valong, all these places have become a must-touch kind of a destination for all the tourists pan-India. As far as the societal values, human bonding is concerned, I must talk about Agniveer. As far as Agniveer is concerned, I keep saying, agar log hain, to society hai. People are there, then the society is there. If there is society, then there is a country. And if there is a country, then only you will have an army. Therefore, if there is a country, then only there is an army, means country comes paramount. So, India has to look at 80 lakh employment to be generated every year. Can we afford it? No. And this is the cause of worry for the Western and others also, that the demographic advantage which we have, are we able to utilize it? And Agniveer is a small, if I can say that, a very small number in that. 80 lakhs and 40,000. That is the difference. So these young individuals, shaped by discipline and knowledge, will form the backbone of community for the value system of Indian Army, that is honor, pride, and steadfastness, and selfless service under the banner of Naam Namak Nishan. As far as the role of veterans is concerned, I must say that they have played a pivotal role earlier also, and they are continuing now also. I will leave aside the big-time industrialists, I will leave aside the political hierarchy, I will leave aside even the bureaucrats. So few I would like to name, that includes Colonel Bhatia of Bharat Forge in Pune, Lieutenant Colonel Hem Lohumi of Namami Gange, who's taken on the responsibility of cleaning Ganges, Nayak Shivaji Shamrao Dole of Nasik, who is getting the complete community together for the agriculture, Major Ashim Kohli of Flag Foundation of India, who is moving around India everywhere to make sure that Indian flag relevance is known, and these are installed all over India. And of course, there are many more to give out such names. Now, recently during my visit to Nepal, I was also privileged to meet Havaldar Bishnu Shrestha. Some of you may have heard his name, but let me remind you, who while traveling to Gorakhpur by train to go back to Nepal, after retirement in September 2010, fought with more than 20 dacoits with single kukri to save the honor of the fellow passengers, the female passengers. And when the dacoits came to him, he quietly gave away his wallet and watch, didn't say anything. But when he saw that the honor of a fellow passenger was being questioned at, that is the time his kukri, took out his kukri and made sure that he could neutralize few. And in that honor, he was given the Sena medal also post-retirement by the Indian government. Coming on to the NCC, now this is something, as you're aware, that this was the Prime Minister's vision also, and a major expansion has taken place. Because NCC is one organization which looks at character building, and national integration. So staffing, support, and stakeholdership of NCC to foster patriotic values and national integration is being done by us. And recently, in Jammu and Kashmir also, as you're aware, the youth is there, but the industry is not there. So NCC has raised few battalions to make sure that the youth gets attracted to the national integration part first. Now let me move on to the education, sports, health, and the environment. So Indian Army is providing quality education through 430 APS or the APPS schools, what we have. We also have 39 ASHA schools for children with special ability. And when we carry out calculation, whatever number we have, it's only 40% there are military children. 60% children in that are from the civilian population. But the best part is, so many NGOs have come forward to help us because they know that Army can't afford it. So there is a NGO called as Religare. Other NGOs are also coming forward. Ministry of Social Justice has also now come forward to kind of pump in the money or help us out in running the establishment. Because this is basically for the society. It is not only for the military children with the special ability. Of course, 33 Sainik schools, and what you find today out of the two chiefs, out of the three chiefs, 2 chiefs are class fellows from a Sainik school only. We have 5 military schools and 12 colleges for higher education. The game changer has been the Army Goodwill School. Approximately 47 Goodwill Schools we have at various places, which are the harbinger of hope in the disturbed areas of Jammu and Kashmir. And what we do, we prepare them there. Thereafter, we send them to various academies. We also send them to various engineering colleges, medical colleges, nursing colleges for further study. So this is the time once they get this kind of a support, they come back to the society instead of running away from such disturbed areas and pay it back to the society which propelled them. Adopting and hand-holding of 148 government and government-aided schools. We have started a scheme called as Vidyanjali. So this is a new scheme started about 1.5, 2 years back, that every school is adopting its sister school where they feel that they can do a lot by provisioning of resources, material, teaching, and also the friendship or the guidance, long-term relationship which is required to be established. Most formations are conducting coaching classes along with NGO and CSR collaboration. So you'll find the society as such is coming together. The only thing is we are helping them out, we are connecting the two. And Super 30 or 50, at all these places you will find we are playing a pivotal role, and the success rate is approximately 70 to 80%. And we are proud about, we are feeling very proud about it. As for the skill development programs, including vocational training centers, what we have, where young men and women are trained in multifarious skills to take up entrepreneurship. This we are working out with the Ministry of Skill also. Exposure to repair shops, the mundane job which also there become important. Bed and breakfast concept. The rooms are being kind of sponsored by, created, and those people are being trained accordingly. Small scale restaurant, which is being done by BRO. I see the ex-DGBR sitting here. It happened during his time that the government gave the sanction to BRO. Okay, you can create restaurants at all these places. And once you feel that the local people can take on that job, you please hand over to them. Yoga. Military is in the forefront to showcase benefit of yoga under the banner of Fit India. In most difficult conditions, you see on the INS Virat and these kind of carriers also you find it. In the glacier also you find it. Everywhere you will find. Now we have carried out a joint study with Ministry of Ayush to find out how this yoga is helpful in super high altitude area. Now once these studies are done only here, nowhere in the world these studies can be done. So thereafter these studies become a kind of a unique pioneer for the entire world. Coming on to the Mission Olympic 2032. You must be asking why 2032? India is looking at Mission Olympic 2036. But Army has to play a pivotal role to conduct Mission Olympic 2036. Besides feeding players, we also will play a pivotal role in conducting. Therefore, as far as we are concerned, 2032 is important because once we prepare the manpower for that, it will require specialization, super specialization, super specialization. So we need to work together on that. And we'll be posting a dedicated left journal for this subject soon. That's why 2032 is important, because the decade of transformation which has been announced starting from 2023, which was a year of transformation given my very far-sighted man, General Pandey, who was my predecessor. We are taking it forward. 2032, this decade of transformation finishes, then we'll start the journey again. Because you have to reach 2047, it has to be hop, step, and jump. So hop, I am telling you 2032. What will be the length of step and jump? That will be decided as we move forward. So it will be a precursor to 2036 and prepare now for medal probables and creation of talent pool with respect to Indian Army manpower for efficient conduct of the Olympics. The Army has also created opportunities for young talent through 18 boys sports companies and 2 girls sports companies, including the one in Pune, where I had lunch with those girls, and they are only about 11 to 13-year-old. So if you see, when it comes to 3.2 and 3.6, they will be at the pinnacle of their physical efficiency and the perfection. Over the years, Army athletes have contributed significantly to India's success at the Olympics, winning medals and inspiring others. Notable achievements include Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore, as you are aware, in 2004 Athens Olympics, Honorary Captain Vijay Kumar in London Olympics, and of course, Subedar Major Neeraj Chopra, historic gold in javelin at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, followed by a silver in 2024. And mind you, he is still continuing, and he will, I'm very sure, will perform with a similar kind of a gusto in 2028 also. Now, in addition to training elite athletes, the Indian Army promotes sports and unity nationwide by organizing events like Durand Cup. And now Durand Cup has become a mandatory cup for all these sports clubs who are required to participate in any kind of a national and international tournament. And of course, Kashmir and Jammu Premier League under the Khelo India initiative. Now coming on to the environment conservation, Indian Army is deeply committed to ecological sustainability, contributing through water body rejuvenation projects. We were told to make only 75 as part of the 75th year of independence. But when I take the calculation, it goes to 250 plus. So if those are the kind of water bodies which have been revived, I am sure it will help the society in a big way. And of course, green station initiatives, plantation drives, and the establishment of zero carbon stations. Now, clean glaciated areas is also in the pipeline, which we are working out. Our Eco Task Force have planted over 9.5 crore saplings over 2.28 lakh acres of land and have given effect to 93,000 plus hectares of afforestation, while resuscitating 700 water bodies overall and 28 sarovars. In addition, Indian Army is contributing to the Amrit Sarovar initiative by resuscitating what I told you about 250 water bodies, and of course, Clean Ganga Mission, which we are playing a pivotal role again, because the task force which has been allocated for that, and the new Gomti task force has also been sanctioned last month. Now, I must say, the world record which has been made by the 128 Infantry Battalion TA Eco Task Force, along with various organizations, including district administration, the Army, the Air Force, BSF, Panchayat, Forest Department, and Municipal Council, successfully planted an astonishing 5,19,000 saplings within single hour, within 1 hour at Jaisalmer. And this is part of the World Book of Records. And this was also covered by our Prime Minister Modi in Man Ki Baat on 24th November this year. So Maharashtra has its own TA Eco Battalions, which is doing extremely well. Our family members also are becoming part of such initiatives through network of AVA NGO, which is again pan-India, which plays a leading role in supporting families of serving and retired soldiers, including 7 lakh registered widows, Veer Naris, and Veer Matas. Note the word 7 lakh. So this is the kind of ecosystem this AVA NGO supports. Now, as Kurt M. Campbell and Michael O. Hanlon in their analysis, hard power, the new politics of national security, put across that economic ambitions are inherently tied to the security architecture of the region they operate within. And you see the difference between the European Union and Africa. As far as the European Union is concerned, the economic ambitions that stand supported by NATO's security framework. Now in contrast, conflict zones in Africa that often struggle to attract investment despite rich resources. So security is of paramount importance everywhere. The imperative for us, therefore, is to have a robust military strength to back up our economic pursuits. Let me also underscore here the aspect of defense spending being an economic stimulus. Indian Army, with the scope and scale of its war-fighting inventory, is one of the largest stakeholders in Atmanirbhar pursuit. Indigenous Capability Development Initiative drives economic growth and concurrently develops indigenous defense industry, eventually accruing as a capacities to drive defense exports. It's not only the main industry which is there. The kind of a support system which is there, you take, let's say, a vehicle is being made, but the parts of which are being made by the ecosystem. Since I have visited all the industry of the Pune, and I have been witness to all these activities that the Bharat Forge, L&T and others, they may be having big industries, but the support system which is growing up across all these places, that plays a very pivotal role. And those industries are in remote areas also at places. 85% of Indian Army's capital expenditure is on made in India defense hardware. We are doing a major hand-holding of the corporatized PSUs also, as you are aware. We are the largest contributor to the positive indigenization list, 176 of approximately 500 items, that is 35%, recommended by Indian Army and is likely to be procured in next 5 to 7 years, entailing an outlay of approximately rupees 5 lakh crore. Now these efforts are beginning to make a change. Defense export, which were around 600 crore 10 years ago, have crossed the figure of 21,000 crore in financial year 2023-24. And there's a confident optimism that defense exports will reach the figure of 50,000 crore by 2029 and 30. Now herein, Maharashtra deserves a special mention, as the state was the first in India to frame a defense manufacturing policy after private investment was allowed in the defense sector. As a result of these efforts, the state is contributing more than 20% to the country's output in aircrafts, ships, boats, and 30% to the national output in weapons and ammunition. Now, these figures reflect a strategic vision towards promoting the defense industrial sector. And Maharashtra has become a role model, as you are aware, for the South Defense Corridor, that is Chennai Defense Corridor, and also for the UP Defense Corridor. Pune in itself is a renowned hub for institutions of academic repute, startups, research and innovation centers, IT companies, and manufacturing clusters. Here in academia, industry, military, and the state government are joining hands together for nation building through encouragement of defense production. And all those who are following in the open source, you realize many innovation, invention is being done here. Colonel Prasad Bansod, he designed carbine named after his daughter Asmita, called as ASMI, along with Pune-based DRDO lab, that is Armament Research and Development Establishment, called as ARDE. It's already been inducted in Northern Command, 500 pieces have already reached there, which are being exploited. Major Anup Mishra from Engineers has developed best bulletproof jacket in the world as of today, while being at Pune, and it is the center which has supported him in a big way, and his inspiration was losing his buddy during the operations in CICT Ops, because that bulletproof jacket was of a lower generation. So traditionally, all camps have become also the pockets of development and green lungs of any city, be it Pune, but I'm sure that is, now you may be saying, is it true today? But I'm sure it's much, much better than so many other places. And of course, Sikandrabad, Barakpur, Bikaner, and many more. Now, when it comes to pitching back to the society, and especially the local economy, especially in remote areas. So when I was in Northern Command, I just carried out a casual study, okay, how much money the military pitches back. So when I looked at Ladakh economy, the tourists have been able to generate revenue of approximately 600 crores on yearly basis. And Indian Army gradually has increased its contribution to local economy to 2,260 crores per year in Ladakh itself. So you see, it's approximately about 3 to 4 times. And will continue to increase with every passing day. Now, in case of J&K, when I calculated it, it worked out to approximately 15,000 crores. Now, this is over and above providing employment to more than 5 lakh porters or the civil personnel for various jobs, and utilization of local resources, including the famous Zanskar ponies, which are playing a pivotal role in the glacier as of today. Same analogy applies to the Pune 2, being one of the largest cant. As for the technology is concerned, we have aligned our technology pursuits to technology-related national missions, which range from 6G to national quantum missions. Our indigenous capability development endeavor are promoting startups, and in turn, the technology threshold of research and development, design and development, production ecosystem. And I was happy to see when the Army commander showed me these startups which are present in Pune and how critical and pivotal role they are playing to support Army in such kind of a technological leap which we are looking at. As for the under innovation in defense excellence called as IDEX. There are 88 projects worth nearly 600 crores encompassing 78 startups. Make 2 route, which has newly been introduced now, where the MSMEs play an important role, which is basically reserved for the MSMEs, if I can say that. 48 Make 2 projects worth 30 crores are in progress as of today. If you look at the research and development, today Indian Army is authorized to invest in any academic establishment for research and development, nearly 30 crores just for research and development, and procurement 300 crores straightway. So that is the kind of facilities we are having. And Raksha Mantri has also launched a scheme called as Aditi, which is again for approximately 30 crores, which can be done with the private parties also in case they compete and their kind of a innovative solution is accepted for further discussion or research and development. Now, many technologies are dual use also. Let's say in the field of communication, Sambhav, which was developed in conjunction with IIT Chennai. Now, this is a unique, secure mobile, which is not present anywhere in the world. We are the first one we have done it, and it is so useful that the other government agencies also, inter-agency and security agencies are also now using it along with the military. And of course, in the field of cyber, missile systems, space and renewable energy, we are playing a collaborative role. The last issue which I wish to bring in front of you is the defense diplomacy. India as Vishwabandhu and Vishwamitra stand as an important construct of nations' foreign policy. Towards augmenting progression on the edifice of these two markers, hard power has its own role to play in increasing the elbow room for diplomacy. We are not expeditionary power, but the hard power should be visible to all. Towards that, the Indian Army as an instrument of military diplomacy stands to augment strategic partnership and alliances while sustaining strategic hedging, which is the unique identity of India. We are ready to take on increased responsibility in extending the nation's strategic influence towards protecting our national interests. 45 defense wings across the world are driving the military diplomacy pursuits, and these are being increased to 52 and eventually to 62 in phase 2. And we are reorienting. We are taking these defense wings to those places where we need to communicate, we need to engage, and we need to encourage defense exports. So wherever the developed countries from where we were only importing, those places we are reducing. Because if India has to pan out, it has to enhance its kind of a presence, pan international fora, then we need to go to those places where we need to enhance our influence. So these defense will be responsible to enhance defense cooperation alliances, encourage defense exports, and convey Indian narrative to the friendly countries. We continue to play the lead role in UN peacekeeping operations. Our regional US Center for UN Peacekeeping has become basically a kind of a magnetic attraction for whole world. And in the month of February, we'll be having the first South-South female engagement teams coming here and getting together. We are presently participating in 9 out of 13 missions with more than 5,000 personnel deployed, which include 100 plus women peacekeepers. The reimbursement of equipment leased to UN into the Consolidated Fund of India over the last 5 years accounts to nearly 2,000 crore rupees. India has also earned a reputation of most trusted UN troops deployed ever. And same is the case with our staff. Wherever you go, everybody wants an Indian officer as a staff. Wherever you go, they want Indian troops to be deployed there for the safety and security. In Africa, in Latin America, and all the places you name. So, I must say that as far as the female engagement is concerned, Major Radhika Sen, she is an Indian Army officer and alumnus of IIT Mumbai, was awarded the 2023 UN Military Gender Advocate of Year Award in May this year by the UN Secretary General himself. As for the Indian Army is concerned, we also train personnel from friendly foreign countries. At any point of time, Indian training establishments, approximately 1,000 plus are being trained. And you are aware in the National Defense College, now we have increased that number from earlier it used to be 20 or something, we just doubled it to approximately 40. That is how we are making our reach to the forays in the foreign affairs. Such cooperation fosters goodwill and establishes India as a leader in peacekeeping and security, of course. We are also now reaching out to foreign alumni undergoing training at training establishments for enhancing the lifetime bonding. It means earlier, once they go out, there was no way to communicate back with those academies or the training establishments. We are opening up that, and within next 90 days, all those foreign alumni will be able to reach out to us. They'll be able to understand the Indian perspective or Indian narrative on any issue they want. And to the extent that those countries, if they want us to curate any kind of a program or teaching program for that, we'll be able to do that. So somehow, we are natural leader, we are aware of it, we are Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam followers. The only thing is somehow we have to start, we have to commence the beginning. And that's what we are ready to do now. So in conclusion, let me emphasize that the true strength of our nation lies in its people, and the future of India depends on each one of you. India is growing stronger with each passing day, and our global influence is rising, our economy is thriving, and our achievements in science, technology, and innovation are celebrated worldwide. To the extent when I was doing the US Army War College, the professor there used to always ask me after writing something on the board, I hope the spelling is correct. So that is what everybody looks at Indian. And of course, when it comes to the computer also, even if you don't know, they tell you last May, please, can you resolve this issue? So you have to be kind of a stand up to that expectation also. Yet none of this progress would be possible without the stability and security upheld by the dedication and sacrifices of the armed forces. It is their commitment that safeguards our nation's aspirations and allows India to realize its full potential. Through their commitment to these values, the armed forces remain integral to the growth and character of our nation. I hope I have been able to put across my thought process that how Indian Army plays a role in the India's growth story. So I leave you with this message: serve with the purpose, work with commitment, and never lose sight of the incredible potential within each one of you. Together we can make India stronger, safer, and more prosperous. Thank you all, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for delivering this lecture. We now proceed with the felicitation. I request the dignitaries on the dais to step ahead for the felicitation. I request the Honorable Vice-Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Professor Dr. Suresh Gosavi, to felicitate the Chief Guest, General Upendra Dwivedi, Chief of the Army Staff, with a shawl, memento, a bouquet, and a book, General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture on National Security. This book consists of all lectures delivered so far, which have been compiled together and edited by the former Vice-Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Professor Dr. Nitin Kalmarkar, and Head of Department, Professor Dr. Vijay Khare. I would also like the Honorable Vice-Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University to felicitate Lieutenant General Dhiraj, Ati Vishist Seva Medal, Army Commander, Southern Command, with a shawl, a memento, a bouquet and the book. General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lectures on National Security, which are compiled together. The Army would also like to reciprocate this gesture with their memento. The Chief of the Army is reciprocating the gesture. Thank you, sirs. Thank you. I now request the Honorable Pro Vice-Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Professor Dr. Parag Kalkar, to propose a vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. As we come to the close of this General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture on the topic Role and Contribution of Indian Army in Securing India's Growth Story, it's my privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks to all those who made this event possible. First and foremost, I would like to thank the distinguished speaker, General Upendra Dwivedi, Param Vishist Seva Medal, Ati Vishist Seva Medal, Chief of the Army Staff, for sharing his invaluable insight and wisdom with all of us today. Sir, your thoughtful reflection and eloquent words have truly inspired us all. I would like to just mention few points that while he has elaborated various endeavors of Army, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, with focus on Sadbhavana, security and growth as a correlation between each other. Sir has insisted on prosperity and peace, and he has also elaborated multidimensional role played by the Indian Army. A quite important word which we have heard first time, that terrorism to tourism, that is transformation and to promote the border tourism, sustainable development across the borderline, and pivotal role in creating smart border, communication, power, road, cultural revival, and also rebuilding socio-cultural values, rebuilding Indian heritage beyond security. We must salute to the Indian Army. I must also thankful to Lieutenant General Dhiraj Seth, Ati Vishist Seva Medal, for his gracious present. A special thank to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Suresh Gosavi sir, for his guidance, Dr. Jyoti Bhakre Madam, officiating registrar, for the support, Dr. Vijay Khare sir and his team of DDSS for their tireless effort in coordinating this event. Your dedication, hard work behind the scene have ensured the seamless execution of the program. I'm thankful for the serving officer, retired officers of defense, former Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, statutory officers of Savitribai Phule Pune University, members of management, academic council and senate, faculty members, head of the department of Savitribai Phule Pune University, students of Savitribai Phule Pune University, representatives of electronic and print media, and online viewers of this event. To our esteemed guests, thank you for gracing us with your presence and your unwavering support. Your participation adds significant value to this occasion. We deeply appreciate. Finally, I'm thankful to each one of you who are present here today. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I now request everyone to stand up while the national anthem will be played.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai. Thank you. I would like everyone to be seated. I request the veterans and the Southern Command officers, brigadiers, and the ranks above brigadiers to accompany the chief and the other dignitaries on the diet for tea. I request the rest of you all to be seated. Students of Defense Department, staff of Defense Department and International Center, please proceed for the photograph. I request the rest of the audience to be seated.
Sorry.
I request the veterans and the army officers, brigadier and the ranks above the brigadiers to join the dignitaries. I request the rest of the audience to be seated. Students of defense, staff of defense and international center staff, please take your, go row wise and take your place for the photograph.